Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Pat Nappy here from PNLearning.net, and this is another video in the series that I'm doing on the SAT practice test number 2. This question today is going to be a part 3 question, which means you get no calculator, and let's take a look at it. So we've got a square root equation, and it says if k is greater than 0 and x equals 7 in the equation above, what is the value of k? All right, so for this question, they're giving us x, right? So we should just go ahead and start off by plugging in the information that they're giving us and see if that helps us figure out how to solve for k. So if we put this minus 7 in for x, we are now just left with an equation that has a square root and just one single variable. So whenever you're dealing with a square root equation, you kind of want to isolate this square root part, and that way you can then square both sides of the equation and remove the square roots. So let's do that. Let's isolate this square root. The only thing around the square root is this minus 7, so we can go ahead and just add 7 to both sides. This will leave us with the square root of 2k squared plus 17 equaling 7. All right, the next thing we want to do is, like we just said, we've isolated a square root. Let's take the square of both sides. A square will always cancel out a square root, leaving us with what's underneath, 2k squared plus 17. 7 squared here is going to be 49. Now we have a quadratic equation. So there's a couple different ways you can tackle quadratic equations. Of course, one way is to try to factor it if it is factorable. And the other way you could do it is to try to just isolate your k squared and then take the square root. So just like we had a square root and the square of both sides undid it, the square root of both sides will undo an equation where you have a variable squared on one side. Okay, so we want to isolate the k squared. Let's subtract 17 from both sides. This will allow us to just have 2k squared equaling 49 minus 17. And this will be 32. And then we can get rid of the 2 in front of k squared. 2 is multiplying with k squared, so we're going to divide that 2 on both sides. This will leave us with k squared equals 16. And then it's just a matter of taking the square root of both sides. You're going to get the square root canceling out the squared, leaving you with k equals positive or negative 4. And this will be on our list of answers, right? This is choice C. We're going to take that positive 4. And that's pretty much it for this question. Unfortunately, I don't really have a fancy trick for this question other than to say whenever they give you information on an SAT question and there's a separate equation, just put that information into the equation and try to make it a little easier for yourself, right? Obviously, if we start by looking at this equation, we're saying, hey, there's 2 variables. This might be hard, but if they're giving us one of them, just throw it in there. And that's pretty much it for number 5. So if this video was helpful, definitely leave me a like or subscribe to my channel. Or if you think someone else could benefit from it, definitely share it with them. And as a reminder, I do offer one-on-one SAT prep or can you think of a better way to solve this question? Can you think of a quicker way to? Can you think of a better or quicker way to solve this problem? If so, leave me a comment. I want to take a look at whatever you think a quicker solution would be. Do you think you can find a better or quicker way to do this question? If so, definitely leave me a comment. I'm currently not able to really think of any time-saving tricks here for this one, so I'd be very interested to know if you had any thoughts about that. If you found this video helpful, definitely give me a like or subscribe to the channel. Or if you think someone else that you know could benefit from this video, definitely share it with them. And as a reminder, I do offer one-on-one and group SAT prep on my website, PNLearning.net. And go ahead and check the link in the description and see when you can get some time with me. I usually have time slots available on every day of the week. So that's it for this video, and I will see you in the next one.